Hey everyone, it's Darren. Welcome. This is the third of a four-part video series in how to move data in and out of Excel. First video, we looked at how to bring data into Excel from other file sources, from other programs, that sort of thing. Second video, we looked at how to bring data in from web pages. You see a table on a web page has the data you need. How do you get that in? How do you clean up data as well? This video, we're going to look at how to send data out of Excel, primarily for use by other programs, also for use by other people who know what they're doing with Excel, I suppose. And the final video in the series, the next video, is going to be about how to get data out to people after stripping out most of the stuff, getting around problems like the file is too big to send over email, uh, getting rid of all the extraneous calculations that you know are just going to confuse them, that sort of thing. So let's go ahead and look at what kind of data we can actually export. Excel actually has quite a few different systems available, with different formats available. The first one is we have over here on the file export. This lets you export to a PDF file. PDFs can be read by pretty much anybody nowadays. Uh, they have very limited editing capabilities. Uh, so that's an option. PDFs are difficult for computers to read, however. So if you're sending this out and you want somebody to be able to edit it, if you're sending this out and they need to bring their data in and do processing on it, PDF is not the way to go. So look at Save As. Okay, Save As, we have file types here. The default is XLSX. That is the newest form of Excel file. There's a bunch of different Excel file formats here. If you're sending to somebody that may be using an older version of Excel or a non-Excel spreadsheet, unless you have a lot of data, I would go with the XLS here, which is the Excel 97 to 2003 format. That's much more compatible. If you have a huge amount of data, it's too much for that. I'm talking like too many rows, too many columns. CSV format. Uh, we'll come back to that one here in a minute. XML data, probably won't use that. XML is fairly standard, but without templates and stuff, it can be a little messy. Uh, Web page data, again, not real common. You can do it, but most people probably aren't. And you're certainly not doing that if you're sending it out for somebody else to do calculations with. Um, you have a tab delimited, which is very similar to comma delimited. Uh, Unicode text is just a straight text file. XML spreadsheets, those work okay. Comma delimited CSV files, those are very common. Formatted text. Formatted text is space delimited, also that's fixed width. Very common on older systems. Newer systems can pretty much all read it. Older systems, sometimes that's all they can read. You have different text formats, comma separate variable formats, etc. Uh, so let's look at what some of these are. So let's take a look at this. Okay, so this is a fixed width file format. And you probably saw this on our first video. Uh, so the fixed width just specifies you have each column has a specific width to it, a specific starting and ending point, and that's where you work from. So let's take a look at this. So we have this file, and I'm going to save this as fixed width. File, save as, and remember the fixed width is space delimited file here. Where was that? Formatted text space delimited. Uh, the extensions are all over the place for these. PRN, I think it's just one that Microsoft came up with. Uh, there's all kinds of extensions. A lot of these are just TXT. Okay, so let's go ahead and save this. And it doesn't work because you have multiple sheets. The delimited files only work with single sheets. So to save only the active sheet, click OK. To save all sheets, save them individually using different file name for each. That's something to keep in mind with when you're saving any of the multi-tab sheets, is you have to do these one at a time. Okay, so let's go take a look at where this is here. Okay, so this is the file here. Let's take a look at this in Notepad. And this is what it looks like. You have the country number, the country name, the population, the percentage of world population, um, the date of the population, and the source, and that links down to other stuff. So this could then be opened up by other programs. Okay, let's take a look at another one here. So if we do File, Save As, and we're going to do a comma separated variable. Uh, so there's quite a few comma separated variables. They're all kind of the same. Um, I wish there were a straight delimited. There used to be in older versions of Excel. It doesn't appear to be anymore. So you can only do comma separated variables. You can only do quoted text. So you go ahead and hit OK. Again, this is the same thing. It can only do a single sheet. And let's take a look at that one now. So we'll open this in Notepad. And that's not a comma separated variable. Oh, that's a PRN I opened again. Sorry about that. Let's go open the correct file. The CSV is what I want. Edit Notepad. Okay. So here you see you have the data field is one, a comma, your next data field, a comma, your next data field, and it put that in quotes because there's a comma in the data. So if it didn't put it in quotes, it would have gone to one and said, okay, next field 409, next field 670, next field. So that's why it added quotes to that automatically. Uh, when you import this into another program, it's just going to strip those quotes off. Uh, so if you manually import it, make sure that if it asks, make sure that you put in that double quote as the text delimiter. Okay, so that is that export. Uh, what about exporting to other stuff? Can you do that? You can. Let's talk about something else first. I do need your help with the channel. If you can help out by just hitting like, subscribe, and hit notify, that would be great. That really helps the channel to grow, gets more people over here to see these videos. I have a Patreon page at patreon.com/data analysis excellence as well. If you could help out with that, that would be great as well. If not, if just like and subscribe, best thing you can do to help out the channel. Okay, so what if we're sending to something that doesn't really know what to do with some of these formats? Well, you may need to talk to their IT person. Pretty much every system has a way to bring data in. How you bring the data in, that can vary. Most modern systems that are bringing in uh, tabular data, stuff that looks like this, can handle it in Excel file directly. Uh, if it can't handle Excel, it can handle either fixed width or some kind of delimited file. You might need a delimited file, which is instead of being comma delimited, maybe it needs to be tab delimited. Instead of putting double quotes for your text delimiter, maybe you need single quotes for your text delimiter. That's stuff that maybe you need to uh, save it as, well, you can do a tab delimited, save that open it up in Word and go through and change all your commas to an asterisk or a percent sign or whatever the delimiter needs to be for the system. If your uh, quote, if your text delimiters, instead of needing to be double quotes, need to be, um, I don't know, a plus sign, whatever. I just do a find and replace on it and just globally change it. There's usually a way to get data in. You just have to know what the format is. So if you know what the system can take, great. If somebody else knows, if you just get them on the phone and say, hey, what are your delimiters? Let's figure out how to do this. You can do it. This is all you have to do. Uh, Pretty much you're either going to save it as Excel, as a CSV file, or as a fixed width. And that's about all I have for you for today. Check out the next video in the series, the final video, which is how to get this data to other people without overloading them, without overloading email, without giving them more information than they're really supposed to have. Until then, have a great day.